How's it going, everyone? My name is DrapPep, and welcome back to another installment of Drap Chat. When I was a kid, I used to have this goldfish that I called Vacuum Cleaner. That was the actual name I gave this goldfish. And the reason why was because it had like these rocks, like the little pebbles on the bottom of the fish tank. And it would spend all of its day, every day, just sucking at these rocks. Like that was its thing. It would move the rocks around, and it would like, I don't know, it was obsessed with eating rocks and spitting them back out again. So in my head I was like, ooh, it's eating the rocks like a vacuum. So I named the goldfish Vacuum. And one of the things I used to do was I would, of course, wash my hands before I did this. Uh, my parents made sure I did, and I would dip my finger in the water, and it would immediately surface. Right, it immediately knew what I was going to do, and I would take my finger into the fish food, and I would put it back in there, and it would eat the food off my finger. It would, and that was like my way of bonding with this fish. Like I would dip my finger in the fish food, put it back in the tank, and it would eat it. And it would, I knew it was ready to eat some food because it would start, hanging out at the surface waiting waiting for me. And before anyone is like, "Oh, you shouldn't do that to your goldfish. It's bad for the goldfish." Before you start saying that, let me just read this out loud real quick. It is generally safe for goldfish to eat food from your finger, as it can be a good way to bond. All right. Just ensure your hands are thoroughly washed and rinsed of all soaps or lotions before putting them in the tank to avoid introducing harmful chemicals. I was safe about it, okay? I was a very responsible pet owner to my goldfish. Vacuum cleaner, okay? That goldfish lasted a pretty long time too. It got big. I didn't know goldfish could get that big, but I guess a, depending on what kind of tank you have, like goldfish will expand to their environment, and that thing could eat. Oh my god, that thing was impressive. That thing was awesome. I remember when it died though, like that destroyed me. That was a gut wrenching kind of sad. And my dad was just like, "Why are you crying so hard? It was just a goldfish." To me, that was such a devastating death because that goldfish meant the world to me. That vacuum cleaner was like, to this day, vacuum cleaner has always been my faithful and loyal fish. And even though my parents replaced it with another goldfish, it just wasn't the same. It just was not the same. They were not like my first one. I've always loved all of my fish that I've had, despite my room constantly smelling like an aquarium. But I've always loved all the fish I've ever received. Um, I think there was one. It was called like a blue whale or like a whale shark or something. They're like these little tiny fish that look like sharks, and I was like, "Ooh, those are sharks!" And I always thought those were the coolest. We've also tried having a couple of angelfish. Um, just word of the wise, angelfish are very territorial. So whatever you do, kind of be careful when you get those because they will attack the other fish. I also liked getting the little tiny frogs. I liked watching them go all the way up to the surface and all the way back down again. And I was like, I love these little guys. I love these frogs. These little guys are so cool. I also had a cat, by the way. We had a mitten claw, and I think my mom just named the cat Mini Claw because it was a mitten claw. So the fitting name, I guess. And that cat, you could ask any one of my family members, that cat hated everybody. It was just this feral cat my mom brought in one day, and it was just like, we have a cat now. And it would just, oh yeah, it would tear up everything, and it was just hissing all the time. It was angry. And right around when I was a teenager, the cat kind of warmed up to me, and Me and that cat, we were cool until the cat started peeing on me. Like, I don't mean like a little. Like, it was a female cat, and it would just jump on my lap, and it would purr, and it'd be fine, and then it would just start pissing on me, and I'd just be like, "What are you doing? Why are you doing this?" I was the only one that did that too, by the way. This wasn't like the cat didn't have any kind of injuries or anything like that. Like, it used the litter box just fine, and it also had never done that to anyone else. There was even times when I would be asleep in bed and the cat would get into bed with me and piss on me while I'm asleep. And that was just a common thing this cat kept doing. So I would always tell my mom, "Hey, this cat keeps peeing on me. Why is it doing that?" She's, "Oh, well, the cat's getting old. The hips are probably going out, and it's probably it can't get to the restroom in time." Funny thing, when that cat needs to use the restroom any other time, oh, it dashes to the kitty litter, right? Like, no issues. But when I'm asleep, I guess I'm its new bathroom place. It wasn't until much later I discovered that it could also be a territorial thing. So I have this here for territorial marking for cats. The cat may feel the need to mix their scent with yours, particularly if there is a new pet or if they feel secure with you. Um, UnitedVetCare.com. Thank you, UnitedVetCare.com. Um, and I'm pretty sure that was in fact what was going on. I'm pretty sure because there was another cat in the area in the apartment complex, and our cat hated that cat. Our cat hated it with like a passion, just fury. It would moan and hiss and like spit from like the balcony at the other cat. And I think because I took the bus to school, I think because I had to walk past that cat, it was just like, no, 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 not near my boy, not near him, and would just start peeing on me as like the finger to the other cat, just giving the middle finger to that cat, and just I could not imagine what would have happened if I had found that cat and pet it and gone upstairs like a scorned lover, just like, "Who's this I smell on you, huh? Hmm? Is that the downstairs neighbor? Hmm?" Like, just oh no. Just this scorned cat pissed off that I pet another cat. But yeah, no, it just started, I don't know. Whenever it had an opportune chance to pee on me, it would. And like I said, it did not do that with anyone else. No one else. It could sit on like my mom's lap, for example, dry as a bone, right? Just nothing. And just like, also, I don't know if bones are dry. I don't know what that term even comes from. Dry as a bone. Dry as a bone is an idiom describing something completely devoid of moisture, thoroughly dried out or aired. It is used to indicate extreme dryness in objects such as soil, clothes, or materials. All right, so it doesn't mean bones necessarily. It's just a phrase. Bone dry, parched, arid deserts, and moistureless. Whatever. All right. I had to I had to fact check myself in the middle of my episode, but like, yeah, dry as a bone, just bone dry, right? It could be near my dad, bone dry. Near my sister, bone dry. Me, I am soaked. I'm just covered in this cat piss. Meanwhile, I'm just looking at my fish. I'm like, oh, well, at least you don't pee on me, huh? At least that's not a problem I have to worry about this fish tank. Meanwhile, I'm just looking at Mini Claw. Just be like, could you please stop? And the cat wouldn't. Cat refused to stop peeing on me. I love that cat. It's just, I did not love smelling like cat urination. Luckily, it only happened after I got home, right? It didn't happen before I left. Okay, well, waking up, I guess, does count before I left. But I would shower that off, you know? I wouldn't constantly smell like cat piss 24/7. It was only when I woke up and as I came home. That's the only times. That's the only times I smell like cat piss. That's it. But that's going to do it for this episode. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in.